Disclaimer. I do not own Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto does. If I did, Naruto would have been slightly smarter. Naruto. Hey, found you Iruka-sensei. A 9-year-old Naruto said to the scarred Chunin. With a swift firm smack to the back of the head, Iruka shouted back, I found you, you idiot. Eyes to the ground, Naruto didn't say a word. Naruto. When are you going to take your studies seriously? Frowning, Iruka continued, at this rate you'll fail the academy, Naruto. With a faint mumble, Naruto responded, it's not like they listen to me. Say again. They don't listen to me. They look down on me and ignore me and go out of their way to make my life hard. I've tried, sensei, I really have. Naruto frowned and sighed, I can't learn when they won't teach me. Naruto. Iruka sighed. Flashback, Iruka. Yes, Lord Third? Naruto. Is a very special boy, a boy who I have no doubt has the potential to be the most gifted shinobi ever produced by the Hidden Leaf. However, talent, like using water for power, must be tapped and cultivated to be molded into something greater. The most gifted Lord Third? Iruka replied, eyes wide. Iruka, what I'm about to tell you is an S-class secret, known only to 6 people in this village. I tell you because you have shown to me you care for the boy. Lord Hokage or yo, with a stern tone, Hiruzen cut him off. Iruka. Please just listen. Many mistakes have been made by this old man, many I very much regret. Sarutobi said in an almost weak voice. He suddenly regained the tone of a battle-hardened Hokage and continued on, however, Uzumaki Naruto will not be one of these many mistakes. For Naruto is not only the hero of the Hidden Leaf for jailing the 9 tails, but he is the son of our very own 4th Hokage. Iruka's eyes shot wide and his mouth would have dropped open, were it not for his restraint as a shinobi. The son of Lord Fourth. And all this time we've. Indeed, it was Minato's wish for Naruto to be seen as a hero. Hiruzen sighed, I may have failed Minato, but I will not fail young Naruto. Please Iruka, instruct him to the greatest of your ability and lay the foundation for him to become a splendid shinobi. Flashback end. All right then, Iruka suddenly shouted. Sensei? Naruto, do you wish to learn, and become a splendid shinobi? Of course. I really do want to learn, sensei. But do you really think I can be a good ninja? Iruka smiled down at the boy, ruffled his hair, and replied, Naruto, I believe you have what it takes to not only become a wonderful shinobi, but also the greatest Hokage. Naruto's eyes widened at that statement, and for the first time, he felt the determination and resolve in him harden into something he knew that was completely unbreakable. Little did Iruka know, he had just placed Uzumaki Naruto on a path that would later become one of legend. Alright Naruto. Meet me outside the academy an hour after classes are out every day. Got it? Yes, sensei. 3-year time skip. Over the next 3 years, Iruka gave extra training and lessons to Naruto to help him catch up on what he had been missing because of the Bias Academy teachers. Iruka taught the basics of shinobi to Naruto, Tai, Nin, and Genjutsu. Although, as it turns out, Naruto is terrible at Genjutsu, and it seems he may actually be incapable of it. However, Iruka learned many things about the once thought dead last. By now, he had raised to number 2 in the class, just behind Uchiha Sasuke. Naruto, as it turns out, was quite a bit more like his father than Iruka ever could have originally thought. It seemed now that he was no longer desperate for attention or any sort of acknowledgement. He had put aside his exuberant, brash, and inattentive actions, and began to lose his lack of formality or social standings. Naruto's true personality with a proper adult influence in his life had become something quite akin to his father's. He seemed to be more perceptive and collected. For the most part, he was respectful, but could still be overly excitable and quick-tempered. He still possessed his indomitable spirit and fierce ambition that drove him through all his choices in life. He is of unwavering loyalty to Konoha and his precious people. The young Uzumaki proved to be mature and very serious. He had also shown to have a sharp wit, carefully thinking before acting and able to see the underlying nature of the situation at hand, while, for the most part, remaining calm and collected. He had since changed his clothing styles and upgraded his gear. Along with these changes, he had let his hair grow to the point that it had started to imitate Minato's. It was a wonder why the villagers never noticed the uncanny resemblance. One of his greatest strengths was when it came to close-range combat. He had surprised his faithful instructor with his talent. The most impressive part was his seamless mastery over the substitution. The scarred Chunin had never seen someone use the technique in such a way before. Naruto's style of combat has become truly unique in a way completely unexpected. Through the use of lightning fast substitution with kunais, he'd found a way to almost instantaneously close a gap in close quarters as well as get behind his foe in seconds. The only problem Naruto had with his new technique was replacing himself with something so small was extremely taxing on his stamina and his chakra reserves. If he didn't focus enough during the execution, an unnecessary amount of residual chakra would slam back into his chakra coils, putting immense strain on them, effectively semi-handicapping his super trump card. Naruto had undergone almost brutal training on chakra control from his instructor to try to get the clone jutsu down. In the end, after finally being able to do the leaf-sticking exercise, the boy was able to make the clone if done in sets of 4. Among the many accomplishments Naruto had made in the past 3 years, one was very special to him. His first real friend. And the second person to acknowledge him. Even though the bastard would never admit it. Sasuke acknowledged Naruto's skill, not that Naruto gave him much a choice. They met up for spars or jutsu practice almost every day before or after the academy. Together they had honed their taijutsu to near perfection, along with drilling chakra control into their skulls. Unless at the training grounds they never talked very much. It had also been pretty difficult for the rest of the students of the academy to accept that the one person Sasuke talked to was Naruto. A dull thunk was heard as a small male academy student landed in the dirt. "Winner Inuzuka Kiba," came the loud and authoritative voice of Amino Iruka. A loud laugh rang out for the victorious boy. "Yeah, anyone else want some?" Kiba stood in the fight circle with a feral grin on his face. "I'll happily take my chances," a calm voice called out, belonging to one Uzumaki Naruto. Walking out toward the fighting mat, standing at a solid 5 foot 2 inches tall Naruto, was about equal in height with his classmates, and in some cases he was physically taller than some students. A long overdue change up in his diet was practically forced upon him by Iruka, although he still managed to put down at least 3 bowls of ramen each day. Dressed in a black t-shirt with orange stripes in the middle of the sleeves, metal arm protectors, leather straps around his back and chest, and dark pants, Naruto really did look the part of a shinobi. "Do you have the energy to run another match, Kiba?" asked the scarred Chunin, with a slightly concerned look. For a scrub like Naruto, Kiba laughed. "Of course I do, sensei." Kiba cracked his knuckles with a predatory grin. "Act cocky all you want, Kiba. I respect your skill, but you and I both know it's been a year and a half since you've beat me in a spar. I'm no scrub." Naruto countered with a half smile. "Alright, Naruto versus Kiba," Iruka announced and held up his hand. "Ready?" A resounding yes from both boys was heard. "Begin." Instantly Naruto was on Kiba, charging in with a burst of speed to send a right hook at the dog whisperer. Kiba was put on the defensive, but the boy was no pushover. Considering his training and his family's taijutsu, he was one of the best in the academy, but Naruto's hard work and inherently prodigal mind had turned him into a polished and effective neutralizer. Kiba threw a hard right cross at Naruto, who let it hit, but only to grab Kiba's arm and slam him to the ground. 2 quick consecutive hits to the back of the head on the way down sent Kiba's head reeling with stars in his eyes. Managing to right himself and continue fighting, he charged in at Naruto, connecting his fist to his target's abdomen. Taking the hit, he launched back, observing the feral boy. Naruto waited for him to re-initiate. The marked boy rushed in low and attempted to sweep out the blonde's legs. The attack was dodged and he immediately made space, but in a burst of speed Naruto was at his side with a spin kick to his left hip. The sound of Naruto's foot connecting resounded and the feral Inuzuka was sent flying out of the fight area. "Winner Uzumaki Naruto," the instructor announced. "Alright, make the unison sign." Kiba and Naruto met in the middle and smiled at one another. Quickly making the sign and then letting go, they broke apart. Sliding his hands into his pockets and slowly walking away, Naruto smiled, considering his progress in the last 3 years. "I will be Hokage one day, and I'm just one step closer every day," thought the blonde. As other students began to duke it out, Naruto stood unmoving, staring at the Hokage mountain. "Oi Naruto, what are you doing?" asked a rather large boy crunching on a bag of chips as he spoke. Naruto spun around to face the voice and immediately saw who was speaking. Oh, sorry Choji, I was just thinking about how hard I had to work to get here and how much harder I'm going to have to work in a week after we graduate. The golden-haired boy said with a smile. Man. You're so troublesome, Naruto. Working so hard is a drag. I don't understand how you can go at it like that. A spiky ponytailed boy in his trademark lazy and irritated tone. Of course you wouldn't understand, Shika. Your goal in life is to be mediocre. But, me, I'm aiming for the top. Naruto called out to him with a ear-to-ear grin. HN, dead last, as if you'll ever hit the top, rang the voice of one Uchiha Sasuke. It's been a long time since I've been the dead last, Sasu-chan, called Naruto. You're still loser though, the black-haired boy replied with a glare at the subtle insult. Alright, enough you two. Class is over, everyone head home, called out the Chunin instructor. Later guys. Naruto called out as he took off down the street. The blonde academy student made his way toward training ground 14, one that wasn't often used by anyone in Konoha's shinobi forces. Made up of a medium-sized clearing with a small stream running through it, it was a quiet and secluded space. Naruto approached the water and slowly stepped onto it to continue practicing water walking. With his high chakra reserves, the Hokage and Iruka-sensei had deemed it best that he learn tree climbing due to his high need for chakra control. Later down the line he had seen a few leaf nin sparring in another training ground and had watched as they ran across water. Logically he deduced that the tree climbing exercise would be practical for use of walking across water. Over the course of the next 4 months, he had practiced to the point he could steadily walk on water but still needed to concentrate fairly hard in keeping his chakra in check. His goal now was to do it subconsciously. He began throwing kunai at targets he had set up, simultaneously moving across the water, but halted when he sensed a chakra signature appear behind him. "Can I help you, Neko-san?" he asked to said Anbu agent as she appeared seemingly out of thin air. They had long since stopped being surprised at his ability to sense them. Flashback: Naruto sat at the stall in Ichiraku with the Hokage as they chatted about Naruto's schooling. "So Naruto, how is your TR?" "Oh hey Neko." Naruto interrupted the aged shinobi, as a Anbu with a cat mask suddenly appeared behind them. "Naruto, how did you know Neko was here?" asked the slightly surprised leader. "What? Oh. I'm not sure, I guess I just kind of, well, knew. I felt her, I suppose." "Why? Is that strange?" Donning a look of slight concern the boy asked. "Wait, did I do something wrong?" The Hokage chuckled and looked down at Naruto. No, my dear boy. It's just uncommon. It seems you have a fairly rare ability among shinobi." Naruto's facial expression went from concern to shocked and then to excitement. "A rare ability? No way. Do I have a sweet awesome bloodline technique or something? I knew I was the best, ya know." Chuckling again with a grin of his own but speaking in his professor voice, Sarutobi started. No, young man. Not a bloodline, but you do seem to be a sensor. This is quite a convenient ability to have for a shinobi. You can sense chakra signatures of others around you. Try stretching your chakra OU." Clearing her throat rather loudly and interrupting Neko announced her leader. "Hokage-sama, please. You are needed urgently by the council. I apologize for my interruption, but this is very important." "Ah, yes, my dear. All right then. Sorry, my boy, but I must be going. The duty of the Hokage calls," Hiruzen said. "Don't worry old man, you won't have to do it much longer because I'm gonna come get that hat from you soon, you know." Naruto shouted at the back of the aged cage as he made his way off with the Anbu. "I look forward to that day then," Hiruzen stated with a chuckle. Flashback end: the Anbu agent looked at the blonde and responded. "Lord Third Hokage has requested your presence in the tower. Please, come with me." "Right. Let's get going then," Naruto said, gaining a serious look on his face as the agent used the body flicker to take them both to the office of the cage. "Lord Third, sir," Naruto stated as they entered. "Ah, hello Naruto. I trust you're working hard in your training. Walk with me, boy." Hiruzen began to walk out the door and head up the stairs to the roof of the tower. "I am, Hokage-sama. I'm working on my water walking right now. If you don't mind my asking, why am I here?" Naruto asked while rushing to catch up to the elder. They arrived on the roof overlooking the village. It was sunny and warm with a cool breeze floating through the air. The Hokage passed his gaze over the village and then behind him and up at the Hokage mountain. Naruto, my boy, you'll be a ninja soon if you pass your test at the academy. Assuming you will, and I do believe you are capable, there are many things you need to be informed of. Naruto, donning a look of confusion and suspicion on his face, then asked, "What do you mean by that, sir?" "There are things you need to know to help with your development as a shinobi and your service to the village. I also intend to, upon your reaching the rank of genin, inform you of the identity of your mother, my boy," Hiruzen said, gaining a softer look and a sad tone in remembrance of Kushina as he finished his statement. Eyes widening and tears slightly appearing in the corners of his eyes as he began to slightly shake, Naruto peered up at old Sarutobi. "Am my mother, old man? Why, you knew her? My real mother? You never told me." Taking a deep breath to calm himself, he continued, "I'm sure you had your reasons, sir. But why did you never tell me?" "That I did. I knew her quite well in that right. I couldn't tell you because your mother had many enemies. But after you graduate, you will know, my boy." Hiruzen sighed, saddened by the way the boy completely controlled his almost breakdown, that inwardly gained a new respect for the boy's discipline and his emotions, a key necessity in the life of a shinobi. Only a week was left before the genin graduation exams. Naruto was slightly excited, but still kept himself well composed. He had finished his water walking training and now had a much better grasp on his chakra control. He had also gained better mastery of his most prized and favorite technique, the substitution with his kunai. He was now able to do it a total of 8 times during spars with Sasuke or training sessions without tearing apart his chakra coils. He could still use the substitution in its usual implications, like substituting a log with no problems, even after using his kunai substitution. Still, substituting the kunai was very strenuous. He needed to let himself rest afterwards so his coils could expand and cushion themselves for more of the extreme stress the technique would cause. Honing his taijutsu and ninjutsu skills, Naruto knew that he was ready to take on the exam. He practiced his bunshin and substitution along with his transformation, which he had managed to make entirely solid. The blonde decided to spend his week studying, as well as practicing his techniques. It was going to be a long week no matter what, and he had to be at his peak. This was it. He was ready. It was time to become a genin and he could finally learn about his mother. Naruto was positively ecstatic and ready to go. Sliding on his black t-shirt, he strapped on his metal arm protectors, and donned his black pants. Closing the door with a thud, he took off for the academy. Having finished the written portion, and completed the demonstrations of ninjutsu, the genin hopefuls found themselves outside for a taijutsu test. "Alright class, listen up," the white-haired Chunin instructor called out. "Each of you will spar with me, and Iruka will assess your skill. Got it?" A chorus of "yes" came from the class and the matches started. Most had quite a bit of trouble with Mizuki but still managed to pass. The clan kids however did fairly well against the hardened Chunin, Kiba giving him a considerable amount of trouble. "Inuzuka Kiba, pass," Iruka announced. "Hinata Hyuga, please come up." Hinata then began her match, doing well and subsequently passing as many others did. The students one by one were called up and tested. Uchiha Sasuke, as his name was called, the stoic and bored-looking last survivor, walked up to the mat and took his stance, preparing for Mizuki's inevitable assault. Mizuki dashed at the confident Uchiha. They quickly engaged in a fierce taijutsu bout. Sasuke threw himself into a heel drop on the Chunin, but his superior speed allowed him a quick dodge. When the Uchiha's foot impacted the ground, however, he quickly adjusted into a spin kick, catching Mizuki in the back. At that point Iruka called the match, and Sasuke casually strolled off of the mat, causing his fangirls to ooh and ah about how cool he was. "Alright, Uzumaki Naruto." Hearing Iruka call his name, the boy made his way to the mat. Mizuki smiled at him and wished him luck, telling him to do his best, but something seemed off to Naruto. In the Chunin's mind, he intended to rough up the Jinchuriki, something fierce. Naruto meanwhile sensed something was off but pushed the thought to the back of his mind, as he knew he had to pass this test so he could learn of his mother and start his path to Hokage. Naruto settled into his stance and readied himself. The Chunin immediately kicked off at speeds higher than that he had used on the other students. Naruto's eyes widened slightly in surprise at this, but once again, he pushed it to the back of his mind and engaged. The blonde slid under a hard spin kick, pouncing on one hand and slamming his foot into Mizuki's hip. "This damn brat hits hard," Mizuki thought with a snarl. He twisted around and caught the boy in the ribs with his fist, launching the boy backwards. However, Naruto caught himself in a handstand and spun around onto his feet facing his opponent. With a chakra-enhanced sprint, he cleared the space between them in what almost seemed like an instant. He found himself wishing in the back of his mind he could have used his kunai substitution. Just as he reached the Chunin, he did the unexpected and slid onto the ground, catching Mizuki by the ankles and pulling his feet out from under him, slamming him face first into the ground. A slightly stunned Iruka stared for a moment before regaining his composure, clearing his throat and announcing, "Uzumaki Naruto, pass." Naruto stood beside a still-downed Mizuki and smiled at the scarred Chunin. The other instructor got up and dusted himself off and made his way to Iruka's side, muttering about brats and demons. "You'll pay for this, you damn demon brat." Mizuki thought to himself as tried to hide his humiliation and shame by putting up a fake smile and told the boy well done. The class all then filed back into the academy and took seats. "Alright everyone, on Monday be here at 8 am sharp for team assignments. Enjoy your downtime because life's about to get a lot more interesting." Iruka finished off with a smile. "Everyone head home," he said with a wave as he and Mizuki left the room to go write reports on all of the soon-to-be genin. After they left the academy, Naruto and Sasuke met up at training ground 14. "Hey there, bastard," Naruto called out with a grin as he arrived. "HN." Sasuke grunted with a smirk of his own. "Ready to lose, loser?" he asked arrogantly. Sure, little Sasuke," Naruto said mockingly, sticking out his tongue. "Let's get wild then," he said. The Uchiha grunted at the taunt. Sasuke and Naruto took their stances and Naruto threw a kunai into the air. When it hit the ground, they burst into a fierce bout of taijutsu, engaging each other with hard blows. These two never were and never would be ordinary genin. It was late the next evening when Naruto, who was committing himself to another round of physical training, sensed the presence of his second sensei moving quickly past his training ground. "That's strange," Naruto thought to himself. "Past this training ground is just the edge of the village. Wait, he couldn't be? Is he deserting the village? No, I know sensei doesn't like me, but I'm sure he wouldn't turn traitor." And so the boy chose to investigate and took off in the direction of his teacher. "Uzumaki Naruto has stolen the scroll of seals," a leaf Junin yelled. "Mobilize the Chunin Corps." Now, a voice broke through the chaos. "You will all find young Uzumaki and bring him to me unharmed and with the scroll in tow. Is that understood?" The third Hokage commanded his shinobi. Lord Third?" a Chunin asked. "But surely he stole the skur." "I said, is that understood?" the Hokage asked in a no-nonsense tone. "Why, yes sir. Good, now go." The village leader waved his hand in dismissal and the shinobi scattered. Inu, a tall Anbu with a dog mask and spiky silver hair, landed next to the aged Hokage in a kneeling position. "Go find Naruto. There is a traitor amongst us who has tried to impersonate Naruto as a cover for his escape. The scroll he stole is fake, but we must catch him. But if I know our boy, he will find his way into this trouble, or the traitor may try to harm him." The Hokage then sighed. "Keep him safe, Inu." "Yes, Lord Hokage," and with the wind, the Anbu was gone. The forest was quiet as Naruto watched the Chunin scout the area and prepare his things. Deeply troubling the boy was the large scroll with the Hokage's seal on it. No Chunin should be out in the forest on the edge of the village with a scroll of high importance alone. This could only mean one thing. Damn it, could that possibly mean you're a traitor after all? Naruto questioned to himself. The Chunin was rushing himself, obviously in a slight panic. Wonder what's got him so shook up. Dropping down a few yards away from the supposed traitor, Naruto called out, "Hey, Mizuki sensei. What are you doing out here at this time of night? Are you lost, sensei?" When Mizuki heard the voice, he turned around, and when he saw the young blonde, he thought to himself, things just might work out a little better now. Naruto approaches his sensei and smiled at him. "I can help if ya want." "Whoa. What's that super big scroll?" Mizuki's eyes narrowed, and in seconds a large Fuma shuriken appeared in his hand and slammed into the spot Naruto had been standing. Had he not had the reflexes he possessed from his rigorous training, he would have been killed. Naruto leapt back to create space, instinctively throwing a volley of shuriken at his foe. "So you really are a traitor," he wondered aloud. "Hopefully someone comes along to assist, but I'm not just gonna let you take off on the village like this. I'll keep you here until someone shows up." "Ha. As if you could keep up with me, demon brat. Mizuki chuckled darkly. You're weak in that form, aren't you, monster fox? Wait. Monster. Fox. Why, you mean the 9 tails? Why? Why do you people all keep calling me that? Do you know, you bastard? Tell me. Naruto exclaimed, composure crumbling down under a tidal wave of emotion. It's simple, you damn demon. 12 years ago, when the 4th Hokage fought the 9-tailed fox, he sealed it in you. You are the 9 tails. You are the monster fox. Mizuki began to cackle at Naruto's expression. That's why they all hate you. Even Iruka, and now I'm gonna get rid of you for good. He yelled, laughing as the boy fell onto his rear in disbelief. He then wrenched his arm back and launched his Fuma Shuriken. No. A voice cried out, and the dull thud of steel impacting flesh rang through the small clearing. It's true, there is a demon fox inside you. But you were its jailer. You're no monster fox, Naruto. You're a great student, and I acknowledge you and your incredible talent, along with the immense potential you possess as a shinobi. Iruka coughed up a bit of blood but smiled at him. Hunched over the boy with the large shuriken sticking out of his back. You are Uzumaki Naruto of Konoha. As heartwarming as this is, it's time to die. Both of you. Mizuki yelled out. Naruto stood, laying Iruka down against a tree while removing the shuriken. Rest now, Iruka-sensei, I'll take things from here. Thank you. That was when Iruka noticed the look of absolute determination and unshakable resolve the boy had on his face. He smiled at the blonde. Good luck, Iruka said to him softly. Sensei, I make my own luck, the boy replied with a smile. Oi, bastard. If you lay one finger on my sensei ever again, Naruto pointed at his forehead with his thumb. I'll kill you. You can try, fox, yelled Mizuki, who charged at the boy. A volley of shuriken come his way, but Naruto deflected them with his kunai. He then launched his own volley, but of kunai, they flew toward Mizuki, and the Chunin deflected all but one. Only to tilt his head to the side and avoid it. Then, the blonde disappeared. Reappearing in his place was a kunai, and Naruto's foot slammed into the older mon's back. Stumbling, Mizuki found himself about to fall right in front of the kunai from before, only to see it disappear, and felt the boy's sandal plant itself in his face. The traitorous Nin was launched backwards, righting himself in time to see the young boy launch into a spin kick that planted itself firmly in Mizuki's chest, slamming him into a tree. Eyes widened in shock, the Chunin thought to himself, how? How did he get so strong? Raw, no matter, I'll use the power Lord Orochimaru has given me and destroy this pest. Mizuki's body was suddenly covered in black markings and his chakra began to flare up. Naruto's eyebrow rose in confusion. What's with this malevolent chakra? The boy wondered to himself. But suddenly a loud chirping sound rang through the clearing, and in a flash of blue light a hand rammed out of Mizuki's chest. The Chunin coughed up blood and managed to get out a gurgled "wah" before abruptly dying. His body slid off of the arm and landed on the ground. Naruto's gaze focused on the arm but slowly followed it up to its owner, a dog-masked Anbu. Ainu. What are you doing here? Naruto was shocked but relieved to see the Black Ops Nin. Hokage's orders. He stares blankly. He walked to Iruka and checked on him, bandaging his back. He then stood to look at the young man. You did well, Naruto, be proud. Now stay with him while I go grab a medic, I'd rather not move him. Why, yes sir. Thank you. Naruto managed to get out, straightening his stance out to look more presentable, and the Anbu disappeared in a swirl of leaves. One day I need to learn how to do that, he muttered to himself. Naruto. The pained voice of Iruka came. Come here, he grunted as he fully sat himself up against the tree. What is it? Sensei, you shouldn't move. The boy knelt next to the Chunin. A look of worry etched onto his face. You did well, Naruto, Iruka said with a smile. I have no doubt you'll make a great Hokage one day. And with that, for the first time in at least 3 years, Naruto cried. Taking the empty seat next to Sasuke, Naruto settled in for team assignments. Iruka entered and began a long speech. After that was finished, Iruka smiled at his class. Alright, team assignments are as follows. Naruto spaced out, only listening only for his name. And Hinazuki Rika. You guys are team 2, your Junin sensei will be Satomi Yuta. Ka. Where have I heard that before? Naruto questioned to himself. Unsure, he thought on it longer but couldn't come up with anything for why he would recognize the name. Team 7, Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura, and Uzumaki Naruto. Your Junin sensei will be Hitaki Kakashi. Drawled out Iruka, who became suddenly surprised at Kakashi being a Junin sensei. What the hell? I thought the worst and best in the class are supposed to be on the same team. Why's the second rank in with the Rookie of the Year? That's up. Kiba shouted out. Well, after scores were taken, Sasuke and Naruto have tied for Rookie of the Year. And it's a direct order from Lord Third Hokage. Kiba's eyes widened in shock and he slightly cowered in his seat at the tone. Anything else, Kiba? No, sensei. Kiba called out. Good. Team 8 is Inuzuka Kiba, Aburame Shino, and Hyuga Hinata. Your Jonin sensei will be Yuhi Kurenai. Iruka continued on in hopes of preventing any idle chatter. Team 9 is still in service, so Team 10 will be Nara Shikamaru, Akamichi Choji, and Yamanaka Ino. Your Junin sensei will be Sarutobi Asuma. Wiping his brow in relief, Iruka continued, Alright. That's it. Everyone hang around and wait for your sensei. I look forward to watching you each develop as a shinobi. This was it. He was a ninja now, and he could finally know who his mother was. Naruto sprinted across rooftops headed for the Hokage Tower. He earned these answers and he had every intention of getting them. Finally arriving at the tower, the boy walked in. Walking up to the secretary, someone who had never been bad to him but had always been indifferent. He put a big smile on his face and said, How's it going? Is Lord Third in a meeting? She grunted and replied, No, he just got out of one, you can go up. Thanks a ton. He said, taking off up the stairs, and right before bursting through the doors he stopped himself. He reminded himself, he was a genin now and he had duties and responsibilities to handle, as well as a reputation to uphold. Time to go find out about Mom, he thought to himself. To be honest, he was nervous, but that wasn't gonna stop him. He grabbed the handle and turned. The Hokage smiled as he sensed the boy standing behind the door. He was slightly surprised the boy didn't just throw them open. He heard a turn and a click, and watched the door open. The boy stepped into his office, a slight look of apprehension in his face that soon shifted to one of determination. Sarutobi smiled. This boy really was something. I have a feeling your son is going to take the ninja world by storm, Minato. Hello, Lord Hokage. Naruto said, slowly approaching the desk. Ah, good to see you, Naruto boy. Please come take a seat. I assume you're here to find out about your mother, no? Yes, sir. I've been looking forward to it since you told me. Not only have you earned your headband and become a genin, but you also stopped a very important traitor. Which, by the way, will be added to your record as a B-rank mission. You will be paid accordingly. Hiruzen smiled at Naruto. You've made fine progress, Naruto. Thank you, Lord Hokage. Naruto smiled back, but I believe you know why I'm here? Ah yes, to learn of your mother. And no need to be so formal, my boy, it's just us in here right now. Alright, old man. So, what was her name? Naruto asked. Hiruzen stood turning around and staring out the window over the village. Your mother's name was Uzumaki Kushina. Uzumaki Kushina? That's a beautiful name. Naruto smiled at the Hokage's back. Aye, my boy, a beautiful name it is. She was much more beautiful in person. Sarutobi sighed. I wish with all my heart that she could be here to see you grow, Naruto. Naruto stared at the floor. He didn't really know what to say. Do you have a picture of her? He heard the old Hokage sigh sadly and a drawer open. He looked up as he heard something slide across the desk toward him. Staring back at him was a beautiful red-haired woman, smiling contently. That's my mother? Uzumaki Kushina? Yes. Sarutobi stated simply. Old man Hokage, did she love me? Naruto asked, voice breaking and tears threatening to leak from his eyes. Your mother loved you more than anything on this planet. That I can say with absolute certainty. Sarutobi looked upon the boy with soft eyes. Even in her last moments she thought of nothing but you, Naruto. Sarutobi sighed, remembering the day he hated most in his long life. Flashback: the third Hokage arrived at the spot where the Nine Tails had last been, and what greeted him was a dead Hokage, his near-death wife, and a small baby boy with whisker marks on his cheeks. A Junin leaned over the body of Minato, Lord Fourth. Getting no response, he realized he was dead. At the same time, another Junin lifted Kushina into a sitting position. Lady Kushina. Ignoring the Junin, Kushina spoke. Third. Sarutobi was in front of her in a second, Naruto securely held in his arms. Kushina. Please look after my child. His name is Naruto, she said shakily, drawing small breaths. Minato and I took it from a novel by Jiraiya Sensei. Naruto, Sarutobi said, I'll remember. I'll take full responsibility. The Hokage looked down at the boy, continuing, so please don't speak anymore. For his sake, too. However, when he looked up again, Kushina was dead. Flashback end. Old man. How did she die? Naruto asked sadly. Protecting you, directly from the Nine Tails. She gave her life for yours. She loved you so much, my boy, Sarutobi said softly. Naruto smiled sadly. Do you have more pictures? Did you know her? Can you tell me about her? The boy asked rapidly. Of course, my boy. The Hokage smiled more brightly this time, and Naruto grinned in response. Little did they know they would spend the next 4 hours chatting about Kushina. The office that had minutes before been filled with an air of sadness slowly turned into a room that was so cheerful even Sasuke would smile just by stepping inside. Naruto was to be a real ninja soon. With knowledge of his mother and her will of fire, nothing could stop him. He would uphold her legacy to the highest of standards. He was ecstatic. That's a wrap. Hopefully you enjoyed.